What's going on? What's going on? Beauty of the day, beauty of the day. Hope everyone's having an absolutely fantastic day. Ryan Loede here, coming to you live from good old sunny Isles Beach, Miami, Florida. Just got back here from my office visit to the Innovative Financial Group headquarters. And wow, it's amazing to be partnered with the right people and to be in the right platform. And hey, LC Financial Group is growing, we're hiring, and we have remote opportunities available, 6-figure income in your first year, and a 6-figure renewal income starting year 2. And then also we have salary positions in the Cleveland and Miami area, $1,200 and $1,900 year 1. By year 5, over $200,000 salary. So if you want to learn more about partnering with LC Financial Group, DM me, comment below, or reach out to any of our partners here at LC Financial Group. Powered and partnered by Innovative Financial Group, one of the fastest growing organizations and companies in the United States. Inc. 5000's number 78 fastest growing companies. And hey, that should mean something right there. Hey, was just thinking about this. You know, I was doing a podcast with my good friends Matthew Murray and EJ Myers while I was in the office the other day. And you know, the topic came up about how important our mindset is, the way that we think, and our viewpoint. And you know, it brought me back to when I first started my entrepreneurial career, when I first started to really change my life in making those right decisions and moving in the right direction. You know, so before I even started listening to my mentor GC Grant Cardone, who I've been listening to for the past 5 years, the people that I was listening to were these old school guys like Earl Nightingale, Zig Ziglar, you know, some type Brian Tracy, was listening to him as well. So I was listening to these older individuals, and what that did for me, it changed my mindset and my viewpoint and the way that I thought. Because that's the first step to really moving towards creating true financial freedom in your life. That's the first step to really changing anything in your life, because the way that you think and your viewpoint and your mindset will ultimately determine the action that you take, and the action you take will determine the results that you get. So if you want to change the results that you're getting in life, you have to change the way that you think, your viewpoint, and your mindset. And that's step number 1. So you got to remove the bad information, the wrong data. Because as we're growing up, we're taught by our parents, the society, the marketplace, and the world the wrong data and the wrong information. 99% of the time. If you're like me, hey, that's how I grew up. Not saying that, oh, I'm not thankful for how I was taught. However, like, it was the wrong thinking and the wrong mindset and the wrong viewpoint. It was the wrong data and the wrong information. Because how individuals lived 50 years ago is not going to allow you to create true financial freedom with those beliefs and the viewpoint and the mindset today, in today's generation and today's century. You have to change your mindset and your viewpoint and the way that you think if you want to change anything in your life. So there's going to be some things that you're going to have to remove. There's going to be some changes that are going to have to be made. You're going to have to make some sacrifices. And you're going to have to make some things dead to you. Like, hey, small thinking. It's dead to you. Cut it out. Cut out the small thinking. Some things that I personally did. I cut out the small thinking. You know, I cut out the way that I thought and talked about money. Because how you talk about money and how you think about money will ultimately determine how you act when you get around money. And ultimately, it will determine the way in which money comes into your life, right? So I cut out the way and changed the way that I thought and talked about money. I changed the viewpoint and mindset that I had about how important it is to surround yourself with the right individuals and the right people in your life. Like say, the people in your life, they're either assets or liabilities. They're either anchors and holding you down, or they're like rocket fuel, and they're rockets that literally lift you up and just bring you up and build your self-esteem and build your self-confidence. So you got to change the way in which you view how important it is to surround yourself with the right people. You got to understand and have a correct viewpoint about how important it is to be in the right environment. Man, if I was still living in Cleveland, Ohio, and don't get me wrong, I love Cleveland, Ohio, but living there on a permanent basis, man, I would not be who I am today. I wouldn't think the way I think. I wouldn't have the mindset that I have, and I wouldn't have the viewpoint that I have. So it's very, very important that you get yourself in the right environment, that you get in a prosperous environment, an abundant environment. Someone asked me the other day, like, man, what is it about Miami? Why did you move to Miami? I'm like, man, like, just like my mind is constantly going. I'm in creation mode. I'm in the causation mode of like making things happen in my life. And you get around the right people when you're in prosperous and abundant environments, when you're in environments that, you know, encourage you to keep moving forward, and it opens up your full potential and your full capabilities. You know, so you got to change the way in which you view how important it is to be in the right environment. And there's so many other things that you're going to have to change. You're going to have to change your viewpoint and your mindset about reasonable amounts of action. You do not want to take reasonable amounts of action. You got to change your viewpoint and your mindset and the way you think about making excuses, about making reasonings and justifications. Maybe you didn't hit a goal or a target. You got to view making excuses as like, you can't do it. Like it's not acceptable in your life. It's dead to you, right? As I said earlier, there are some things that are going to have to be dead to you if you really truly want to create financial freedom in your life. You got to have a great viewpoint and a great mindset about how important it is to continually learn on a daily basis. Like you say, the more you learn, the more you earn. If you want to earn more, if you want to elevate yourself and continue to stay invigorated and motivated and inspired, and you want this obsession in you continually going, you got to be continually learning. You got to be continually diving into information, diving into new data, getting around highly successful individuals, listening to these highly successful individuals. You got to change that excuse mindset and that excuse thinking and that viewpoint. Like, man, excuses, it's not acceptable. They're dead. Hey, you got to change the viewpoint and the mindset and the way you think about success. Many people just make success an option, and that's why it's just an option for them. So you got to change the way you think about success. Success, you know, as my Uncle G says, it's a duty, obligation, responsibility. It's the only option is creating success and creating financial freedom. So there's a lot of things that you're going to have to change in order to create true financial freedom. And, you know, the way in which I've created what I've created thus far and how I'm going to continue to create what I want to create and get to where I want to be and fulfill my purposes and my reasons and my goals and my targets is by changing and continually evolving and continually just getting better. Changing my viewpoint, changing my mindset, and changing the way I think. And it's going to be the same for you. If you want to truly reach your full potential and your full capabilities, you want to hit your goals and targets, you're going to have to change your viewpoint, your mindset, and the way that you think. So make those changes. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Don't retreat from making changes in your life. Because that one change, that one tweak that you make in your life, it could be the total turnaround in your life. It could be the total thing that really just makes your life really circulate. Things start coming into your life at a high velocity. You start to see like your life starts getting better, your results start getting better. Your physical body starts getting better. So make some things dead to you. Think about, write down, get a pad and a pen, write down the way in which you think, the way in which you have a viewpoint in your mindset. Like just start to think about the way that you think. Start to think about your mindset and your viewpoint. Like, what do you think about success? What do you think about money? What do you think about your surroundings? What do you think about your environment? What do you think about taking massive amounts of action or unreasonable amounts of action? What do you think about excuses? What do you think about, the middle class, average, right? Start writing down like things that will impact you to creating true financial freedom. Start writing down these things and really dive deep into it and be like, man, what do I really think about this topic or this subject? And you'll start to see that the way in which you think is not the way that you should be thinking. I'm the same way. I'm guilty of it as well. There's so many things that I need to change with my thinking, my viewpoint, and my mindset. And it's always going to be changing. You can't ever stop changing. You can't ever stop evolving. The world is changing on a daily basis. Quote that I get from my Uncle G, if you don't change with the times, you're going to get left behind. I mean, you look at these massive organizations and these massive businesses that have gone out of business, like Kmart. Kmart used to be massive, but they gone out of business because they didn't change their mindset, their viewpoint, and the way in which they think. They didn't continue to evolve. They didn't continue to change and get better. You look at like Blockbuster. I always used to go to Blockbuster. It was right down the street of my parents' house. We always used to get movies there. Next thing you know, here comes Netflix, here comes Hulu. These new creations and these new innovations. So if you're not continually creating, you're not continually innovating how you think, your viewpoint, your mindset, the way in which you operate, the way in which you take action, we're going even deeper here. The way in which you make decisions, hey, you're gonna get left behind, right? You're gonna get left behind, so. Hope this found you well. My intention of bringing this to you guys is to share with you how important it is to change your mindset, your viewpoint, and the way in which you think. Because all those things are gonna dictate and determine the action that you take. And the action that you take is going to determine your results and your outcomes. So how you think is how you talk. How you talk is how you take action. And how you take action is how you get results and how you get outcomes in your life. You're either increasing your ability to reach your goals and targets, or you're decreasing your ability to reach your goals and targets. So be proactive. Don't be reactive. Don't wait until you have to change something. I've been there so many times in my life. Like before I started, becoming an entrepreneur, right? Before I, started building my own business, I was just sick and tired. So I had to change. You don't want to get to a point where you have to change. You should be at a point where you want to change, where you want to evolve, where you want to innovate, where you want to make adjustments and you want to pivot, right? I talked about this before. It's like you don't want to get to a point where you have to do something. Like that's the last point that you want to get to. Like you don't want to have to do anything, because it doesn't really respond with your subconscious mind and your conscious mind as well as like, hey, I want to do something. When you want to do something, it's like, hey, you want to go get some great food. Like you're gonna be more invigorated and inspired to do it instead of like, man, I have to get some great food. Or I want to work out. I have the desire to work out instead of I have to work out. I have to do this. I have to do that. It's not gonna respond and really sink in with your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. So don't wait too long to make these changes, folks. Make the changes now. When is the best time? The best time is now. The best time is in the present moment. Very important to live in the present moment. And the best time is now. So hey, hope this found you well. You guys have a great rest of your day. Ryan Loede here. Cash flow. Let's roll. Have a great day.